Brittany Renner, currently on a platter like it don't matter. Do we crown Brittany or do we clown Brittany? It's time to get into it. Do me a favor and wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Let's go.
But you want all this pimping you can't afford. Perform like a punk but wanna win his reward. Some suckers give you points but bitch you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping then bitch you getting ignored. Okay, I'm so sick of these.
Once again, man, y'all know how a pimp do, man. Sliding through these IG streets. And as I'm sliding, you know what I do. I spins the bottle. And when I spins the bottle, when the bottle stops spinning, this time it stops on Brittany Renner. Now, Brittany is a young lady hailing from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Now, getting straight into it, when we speak in terms of raw beauty, Brittany's not a bad looking lady. Nice body, no GMOs, all natural, head to toe, nice smile. Now, does Brittany have a face that I could see myself waking up to on a regular basis? Nah, man, I'm gonna have to say no. See, Brittany is one of those young ladies who looks pretty cool with the makeup on, but when you see that raw, uncut, butt-naked face, it ain't so pretty, man. It get kind of rough. And it's not that she's an ugly girl, but she's not just something that I would just choose to wake up to on a regular basis, man. So a pimp gonna have to pass on that one. Now, getting into the presentation, Brittany cleans up nice, but that's only when she wants to. I mean, she can clean up exceptionally well. You know, she looks real nice in dress and heels, especially something colorful. The only thing is she just doesn't choose to get fly all the time or even on a regular basis from what's known and shown on social media. For the most part, Brittany is a low maintenance chick, sometimes even ratchet, sometimes borderline dusty even a little bit, you dig? Brittany is one of those chicks that can get a little too comfortable on social media, man, and it's not a good look. And while she often underdoes it with the presentation, sometimes she can overdo it with the presentation in the makeup department, man. I don't know what it is with light-skinned chicks trying to be dark-skinned, dark-skinned chicks trying to be light-skinned, experimenting and, you know, being daring with the makeup and all that. But, you know, a pimp prefers a chick to be realistic with her presentation, man. And once you put on the makeup to the point where you look like a completely different person, that's not you anymore. That's why a pimp prefer the all natural or the closest thing to it in terms of presentation. When we talk about personality, Brittany definitely got the sex appeal in order. She's obviously pretty decent in the charisma department when it comes to dealing with men. Her communication game when it comes to dealing with men, however, seems to be a little faulty. She seems to always be on guard and be looking for a fight whenever she does interviews with men or when she communicates with men in one way or another on social media or the internet or what have you. I think in her mind, she's so used to men coming for her that she believes she has to be on guard whenever she's dealing with men. So when she has opportunities to have good dialogue and give clarity about herself and her life, it turns into a crybaby session and she does her best to force a pity party out of the situation. So as far as overall people skills, her people skills may be decent when she talks to women. I don't know, I haven't seen her in much action when it comes to dealing with other women. But her people skills in dealing with men, overall, quite boo-boo. Another flaw when it comes to Brittany's personality that I see is that she thinks a little too highly of herself. In one interview, I can't recall which one it was, but she referred to herself as a big fish. So she's gonna go after a big fish. Now, while it's cool to have a high self-esteem, I don't think it's that. I think it's her thinking too highly of herself and trying to mask her self-esteem with this sort of confidence. But I wanna know what makes her a big fish. Maybe y'all can let me know in the comment section. I don't know, but I don't see it. I just see a decent looking chick who wiggled her way into the entertainment world and therefore is able to, you know, spread her legs and lay down with different entertainers, athletes, and so forth. But nothing big about this fish as far as my eyes can see and my ears can hear and my mind can comprehend. You dig. Now, oftentimes where you find a weak personality, you'll find a weak character. And when it comes to the character department, Brittany's character is on life support, man. Dignity all the way shot. And it's laughable when people put the spotlight on her character, put the spotlight on her dignity and what she's shown the world as far as her dignity goes, and she once again turns it into a pity party, turns it into a crybaby session. When you just gotta own who you are and what you are and how you've presented yourself to the world. As the old cliche goes, when you make your bed, you gotta sleep in it. And Brittany just refused to sleep in her bed. Nope, ain't sleeping in that bed. Yeah, I made it, but I ain't laying down in it. Ain't sleeping in it. Nope, hell no. Now, I haven't seen all of Brittany's interviews, but I've seen clips from quite a few, and I've yet to see anybody ask her the right questions, and it seems like almost everybody allows her to dictate the conversation. But I'm waiting for somebody to ask her what is important to her, and how is that in line with how she lives her life? How do her principles and values drive her life? Because from the looks of things, it appears that clout is her number one priority. Clout is her biggest value. Clout is the most important thing to her, and that's what drives her decisions. If it doesn't involve clout, it doesn't involve Brittany, especially when it comes to dealing with men. She prides herself on not being a quote-unquote gold digger, and that's not the reason that she deals with all these different athletes and rappers and so forth, but it has to be something. And if it's not money, the main currency for most of these chicks nowadays, the most important currency to these chicks is clout. But what are you doing with the clout? You know, it's okay if you chase clout for the purpose of monetizing yourself, for the purpose of it benefiting you some way substantially. But if you're just chasing clout just for the sake of chasing clout and you're not monetizing it in any kind of way, what's the point? And this is why people question her dignity. This is why people question her integrity. This is why people question her morals, her values, her principles. And it's even more questionable when she doesn't take accountability for these things, which is just about every time she's confronted with accountability. Every time accountability come knocking at her door, she go hide in the back room like it's the Jehovah's Witness. Value. I imagine she's important to her child and important to her mother as well, and maybe any other family members that may be in her life. But the recurring theme of low self-esteem is definitely the case with Brittany. Just pay attention to Brittany and pay attention to other females who chase clout. If you pay attention to them, one thing that they all have in common is a low self-esteem. They find their value in the clout that they receive from others. That's a low self-esteem. Anyone who chases clout and clout alone has a low self-esteem. They don't recognize the true value within themselves. So they feel important based on the individuals that they sleep with. Low self-esteem. And it's sad because Brittany has such great potential. She has a decent sense of humor. She seems to be decent intellectually. And if she was to figure out a way that she could offer herself and the valuable things within her to the world and benefit people in the world and utilize her influence to be a blessing to the masses of people that follow her, that'll be a game changer. But as it stands now, clout is the number one thing in her life. So she doesn't recognize her true value, and therefore she can't utilize her true value the way that she's supposed to. Work ethic. When you look at Brittany's social media, she's obviously into health and fitness, and she goes hard with the workout, goes hard in the gym. And as far as maintaining her clout, she goes hard when it comes to that too. She does a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews. She stays relevant on social media. So she works hard at maintaining her clout as well, which is obviously important to her. And it appears that she goes hard when it comes to hosting different events and so forth. But as far as a brand of her own and going hard, investing in herself, investing in her own brand, going hard when it comes to that, that's something that is yet to be seen. Health. From the looks of things, Brittany is pretty healthy. She obviously takes care of her body as far as fitness goes. I imagine she eats right because she's at an age now where if she ate horribly, it most likely would show. She doesn't appear to be mastered by drugs, alcohol, or tobacco, so we're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. Mental health is questionable. I think Brittany goes through a whole lot mentally. I think she has a lot of confusion going on in her mind. And that confusion, that misunderstanding about so many things in life, and that messed up perspective is the source of a lot of torment in Brittany's mind. I don't know if she's into therapy or if she has an open mind to therapy, but therapy might serve Brittany some justice. As far as strength goes, she's obviously shown signs of having high self-discipline in certain areas, namely fitness, but she's weak in a lot of areas that it would be nice to see her stronger in. It would be nice to see her stronger when it comes to controlling her tongue and her emotions when it comes to communicating, especially with men. It would be nice to see her stronger when it comes to accountability and owning up to who she really is, owning up to who she presented herself to the world as, which is ultimately an entertainment athlete thought. You's a thotty, and if you a thotty, and that's who you are, own who you are, and people will have more respect for you and appreciation for you. If you want to be a thought, just be a thought, but don't try to be a thought and act like you're not a thought. That's not it. So to recap, raw beauty, nice body, decent in the face, but not a face personally that I would like to wake up to, but overall decent. Presentation, Brittany cleans up very nicely when she wants to. The problem is she doesn't often want to. Most of the time, low maintenance, relaxed. Sometimes she can go overboard with the comfortability and presenting the roughness to social media. And at times she can overdo it, especially when it comes to the makeup. Personality, sex appeal on point, somewhat charismatic. People skills, questionable, especially when it comes to dealing with men. Communication skills, quite boo-boo, especially when it comes to communicating with men. Character, dignity is on life support, integrity is on life support. Got a twisted value system that is based on clout chasing, which is all bad. Values, obviously important to her child and to her mother and maybe other family members. However, self-esteem is shot, and that self-esteem hinders her from allowing people to appreciate her intellectual value. Work ethic, decent when it comes to working out and going to the gym on a regular basis and maybe hosting events and keeping up the clout, but remains to be seen as far as working on a brand for herself and investing in herself. Health appears to be on point as far as the eye can see, doesn't appear to be mastered by substances or alcohol, appears that she takes care of herself and eats right. Strength level, decent when it comes to self-discipline, but all bad when it comes to controlling her mouth and her emotions. So after review, does Freeze think Brittany took a shower today? I don't know, man. It's a dice roll. I think